The Kansas City Royals traveled to the Motor City to take on the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park, an AL Central foe. The Tigers sent out left-hander Matt Boyd on the mound for this game, and in the top half of the second inning, he was facing Lucas Duda with a 3-1 count, nobody out. Duda draws himself a walk, so he'll take his base. Next batter up is Jorge Soler. He's going to be first pitch swinging, drive a long fly ball into center field. Duda misjudges it though, so he tries to get an early start to second. Instead, he's going to have to tag back up, and he is thrown out trying to get back to first. So there's 2 outs when Paulo Orlando comes to the plate, and the Brazilian is able to get it over the head of the outfielders, and he's going to turn on the Jets, and the speedster has himself a stand-up triple with 2 outs. Would have driven in at least 1 run, but instead it's just a triple. But it doesn't matter because Cheslor Cuthbert is able to drive him in on the next batter. RBI double down the right field line, and it's a 1-0 Royals lead. Move things on to the bottom half of the second now, where Ian Kennedy, making his 4th start of the year for Kansas City, is on the mound for them, and he would start off this inning, or with 1 out in this inning, facing Victor Martinez. A full count, rips it over the head of everybody into left center, hits the warning track, bounces up and over the wall. A ground rule double for V-Mart. And then brings up Candelaharo, who pops up into left field. Gordon's there. Can of corn for him. V-Mart retreats. 2 down. Dixon Machado is next batter up. He goes down swinging on the breaking ball, so V-Mart is stranded at second. In the bottom of the third, they did not have that same outcome, as Grayson Griner leads off the inning with a base knock, his first career major league hit. Congratulations to him. And then they're back to the top half of the order, where Victor Reyes is going to lay down a bunt, move Griner over to second base. Reyes is retired at first. And then Jose Iglesias gets away from Ian Kennedy. He draws a walk. While trying to pitch around Miggy, he also draws a walk, so it's bases loaded, 1 out for the Tigers. Ian Kennedy 0-2 count to Castellanos, who pops one up to right field. Soler is camped under it. He catches it, fires to the plate. It's cut off, and the run scores. It's now tied at 1 for the Tigers. And then when Mikey Matuk goes right up the middle, another run comes in, and now it's 2-1 Tigers here in the bottom half of the third. And another piece of 2-out hitting, as V-Mart goes down the left field line, drives in a run. Gordon has trouble with it, and it allows a runner to move up. So it's now a 3-1 Tigers lead. Ned Yost comes out of the dugout to remove Ian Kennedy, bring on Birch Smith out of the bullpen, and the first batter he faces is Candelaharo, who chops one right back to Birch Smith, fires over to first, and gets them out of the inning. 3-1 Tigers lead. Move on to the top of the fourth, where Jorge Soler is going to rip one into right field with a runner on first and second. They move up, bases loaded, no outs for the Royals. Orlando grounds one down the third baseline. A sliding play from Candelaharo, goes home with it, gets the runner. Still 3-1, Orlando's safe at first. Then Cuthbert, shallow pop fly into center. Machado was running back, so the runner on third decides to give it a try, and instead is gunned at the plate for a double play. Nobody scores. Still 3-1 Tigers. Bottom half of the fourth now. Moustakas, jump throw, gets out Dixon Machado. Beautiful play from Moustakas, but then later on in the inning, it's a runner on first with 1 out. And Reyes is able to rip one into left center field. Now it's runners on the corners with 1 out for Iglesias, who gets one past the glove of Duda, drives in a run. It is now a 4-1 Tigers lead. And then Miguel Cabrera comes up with a 1-1 count, and he's going to rip one into the left center field gap. No Royal is getting to that one. Hits the warning track, bounces into the bullpen. It's a ground rule double. 5-1 Tigers lead. Blaine Boyer now comes in for Birch Smith with bases loaded, 1 out. Gets the ground ball he needs. Escobar to Merrifield over the first, and the runner beats it out. So the run does come in, 6-1. Move on to the top half of the fifth now for the Royals. Runner on first is Merrifield, as Moustakas rips one over the head of the right fielder, and Merrifield's going first to home. Absolutely blazing speed makes it 6-2 for the Tigers. Cutting into the Tigers' lead are the Royals. Top half of the seventh now, Moose down the right field line. Another double is going to drive in Merrifield. It is now a 6-3 game. still cutting into their lead. Shane Green now comes on for the Tigers. Top half of the 8th, Paulo Orlando is gonna hit one into right center field. A diving play from Castellanos is not gonna happen, so instead it's going to be an RBI single for Paulo Orlando. So 6-4 now, top half of the 9th. Alex Wilson on the mound for the Tigers. Moustakas has himself a single with 1 out, and then Perez to the plate is going to pop one up into the infield. Shortstop Iglesias is under that. 2 down in the inning now. It's all down to Lucas Duda, who gives one a ride down the right field line, but it is just not long enough into the glove of the right fielder, and the Tigers are able to win this one. Hold on for the victory, 6-4 over the Kansas City Royals, who dropped to 13-7, and the Tigers are now 8-12. The old men got the job done in this one for the Tigers, as Miggy was 2 for 4 with an RBI double, and then V-Mart also has himself an RBI double while going 2 for 4. On the Royals side of things, they had a bunch of hits but just could not end up overcoming their 6 runs that they gave up. Moose was 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and also a single. He drove in 2 runs as well. Paulo Orlando was 2 for 4 with a single, a triple, and an RBI. But they just could not overcome Ian Kennedy's bad start. Only went 2 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, and walked 2. As the Royals drop this one to the Detroit Tigers. And with that being said, it's going to wrap things up here for this edition of Kansas City Royals Baseball. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.